Hey, it's Weston Hecker. I'm going to be going over my actual Skyline build, how I took it from a basic salvage title BMW to a Nissan Skyline. And started out by buying a salvage title 99 BMW 3 Series, and ended up following the project here. So basically I ordered some parts online, which was a front clip and rear clip. As you can see, I was very excited. It was middle of winter, so I couldn't wait to get my project started. The actual front end was off of a GTS Skyline, so it wasn't an actual GTR, which it'll be cloned out to. Stored the parts for a couple months, and yeah, it was just amazing. I'd just literally go out in my garage and look at them. So went and picked the car up from the auction, and here's an actual tour of the vehicle when it came and how, after I went and picked it up, how it actually arrived. It was in really, really good shape. As you can see, if you've ever seen a Minnesota car, they're all rusted out. This one was a one-owner BMW, had reasonably low mileage for the year, and aside from the rear end collision, which is a light hit, but it definitely was a pretty nice shaped BMW. And I'll give a couple shots here in a little bit of the actual interior of it. It was actually very, very good shape. But yeah, the paint, everything was all top notch on it. It was actually kind of sad to tear the front end of it off. But yeah, so this is an actual look at the actual damaged portion. I had to actually pull the frame off. This is one of the parts that I didn't do by myself. I actually sent it after a actual auto body frame shop that was a friend of mine. And yeah, a couple of the parts were removed originally. And yeah, once all the parts were removed, the basic bumper impact zones, all that was kept, so it still was a crumple zone to it. Also removed some of the hydraulics with the actual sunroof, because later on I'll have to cut into them, and I'll explain that part when I'm actually going through it. So and yeah, it was really, really clean BMW. If you've ever seen an engine bay this clean, it's just very, very immaculate. This one had a little bit of light use. Interior, it was a very, very good donor car. I actually started doing measuring by actually overlaying the parts over the actual damaged BMW, as you can see. Once the trunk hinge was removed, it was able to access some of the actual gaps and things like that. But yeah, basically continued to tear it down. Did some measurements based off of what I had found online and what was coming to fruition. And at that point, after I had my measurements done and I had taken my parts off, it was time to take it into the next phase, where I took it into the shop. First thing I did was cut actual recess into each side of the actual BMW. This is to make it so I could make the actual trunk lid and all those portions. And then I basically welded on those two excess portions, so it was the width of the actual Nissan Skyline. We started adjusting height and width to see actually how we could get the rear end to actually peg on. And then once that was done, I did a tack weld and actually welded it on to the final portion of it. And just cover the soft top just so it didn't get burned through from the actual welding. So it looks pretty good at this point. And then from this point, we started moving on to the front end. Took the whole front clip off the vehicle, with the exception of the fenders. Looked into the actual radiator wall. As you can see in the actual donor vehicle, there was a lot of support that was left. And then we got these basically lined out. Tack welded those on. Made sure the hood fit. And yeah, it looks almost factory. When you look at it from this picture, that is literally a Nissan front end mounted onto BMW, crumple zones, radiators, everything is still intact. At that point, I took it home, and I was really, really excited. That shot right there is amazing. It literally is an amazing feeling to walk into your garage and see a Skyline. And from this point on, I actually moved the Skyline itself to a garage at my primary residence I have in West Fargo. Then I have a farm, and this is where you guys saw that original video, if you're in from the one. And this is the actual farm process. I actually went through building up the actual fiberglassing, and I'm going to go over further videos on those. A couple other projects I did was murdered out an Escalade, tuned my Porsche, and then I'm building a Fox body Mustang. And yeah, it was a really, really fun process to see a Nissan Skyline. They're illegal to import to the United States. I've never seen one in person aside from car shows, and yeah, so it was really, really cool to just have this driving BMW mesh up, and it was a little bit of a mix between a BMW 3 Series and a Skyline. So I'm happy how it turned out. As you can see from the sides here, I need to bulk it out, and just basically having it wide body into the door jambs. So the doors are going to be recessed, kind of like some of the Z-Tunes and some of the other actual Skyline ones. So I'm putting a R34 GTR front end on it, and I'm also going to be swapping the rear end out. And in a couple seconds here, I'm going to actually show you guys. I went up in Canada and actually bought a coupe rear end. I got a lot of people's feedback, and the GTS and GTT rear end wasn't cutting it for people. So I went and got a coupe rear end, and it looks more like the Skyline. So here's how it looks now, and this is the one I picked up in Canada. So it's going to be a lot better looking. It looks like a legitimate GTR rear end. So thank you.